Good afternoon, blockchain experts and enthusiasts. This is Alena Zaleskaya, Director of WeTel Blockchain Center. It's Friday, which means our blockchain coffee talk show is on. Last week, we had just unstoppable discussion on cryptocurrency trading tools and position of its different categories in the market. We figure out what is modern-day bank robbery and how to protect yourself against malicious actors in the space, and evolution of virtual asset regulations. There is still a lot to discuss, and I'm delighted to introduce our today's experts. Christian Glitch, Ambassador and founding member of European Blockchain Association, Micah Krautschitz, CEO and founder BlocksX Space, Dave Catedal, co-founder Lively, and Osama Bari, Chief Technical Officer, Digital Financial Exchange. Thank you for joining me today. It's such a pleasure to meet you all. Christian, can you introduce yourself, tell to the audience a few words? I know you did it last time, but we have the new joiners, so please tell what you do, your area of expertise, and I would like all our guests to do the same.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. My name is Christian Gleich, and I'm the International Ambassador to the European Blockchain Association, and also the President for WeTel Blockchain Center. So we're discussing blockchain topics, blockchain use cases, up and down and back and forth. And also in this circle on a blockchain coffee, we're trying to find new use cases and also discuss new use cases and ecosystems. So
thank you, Micah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Micah Krautschitz, and I would say I'm a blockchain entrepreneur. I'm building up different blockchain companies. We provide consultancy, development, and implementation. Also have a no-code platform where you can simply create applications for App Store, Google Play, just with drag and drop, facilitate transaction and the storage connected with the blockchain. That's what we do.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you. I'm Dave. I'm a non-tech founder. I have no tech background, but a background in the creator economy and helping people monetize online. And our platform Lively aims to really revolutionize the way people generate revenue and a livelihood online. And now in the Web3 decentralized, which we'll talk about today, ecosystem, as we all know, it opens up new opportunities for creators to take back some control. So that's Lively's mission.
Thank you. Osama.
Hi, everyone. My name is Osama Bari. I'm a CTO of an exchange called DIFX. We are the first exchange who introduced nomination program. That means like if something goes wrong with you and you have a Bitcoin and in any exchange, if something goes wrong with you, what will happen to that asset? So we come up with a solution in the blockchain-based solution. It's nomination. And we are a cross-asset exchange, and that's it. In terms of my personal life, I have an experience in software development. It's been a decade now, building multiple blockchain exchange, multiple blockchain, multiple protocols. That's it.
Thank you so much. So let's begin, and I would like to start with some practical question, because we talk a lot about the theory behind the blockchain ecosystem, but in practice, like in reality, nowadays, what are the use cases of how blockchain and crypto payments are enabling businesses? Can you give some real examples, like touchable ones? Christian, would you like to start?
Yes, sure. So obviously, we all knew those NFT craziness, the Wild West, I would say, where we were talking about JPEGs and funny apes, and glad it's sort of over. But in the end, from an innovation perspective, you need these fancy first-time pioneering days that totally get out of hand, because if they are going back to normal, I would say, which we see now, and they stay, and then normally you see those fancy use cases being diverted into serious use cases. And then, funny enough, what everybody who was seriously interested in the NFT business said before, let's find serious utilization use cases for NFTs and not those funny apes. Now you see them upcoming, and that actually coming from an innovation background gives me a very good feeling of this is the beginning of hype cycle for NFT utilization. It will be there to stay, and it was not just a fancy Wild West thing. And of course, for that you needed crypto, and for that you needed all the strange UX we still see for people to, well, set up wallets and everything, and to pay for
Absolutely.
NFT through crypto.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yes, Osama. Yeah.
So, according to me, in terms of the payment of crypto, the first thing is the education to create ecosystem. The main problem is right now the people is having. They always wanted to look for a cash out or cash in, and they look for the multiple provider, multiple exchanges, multiple apps, and they try to figuring out everywhere. So I think we have to build first the ecosystem, and then when we have to educate the people how you can use it. The Trust Wallet downloads, if you see from last 2 years, become so much because that means like people are adopting that point. People are trying to understand it, and they are adopting very much the MetaMask, Trust Wallet, decentralized wallet, and decentralized exchanges as well. We saw a lot of hikes in terms of the user acquisition in all the crypto-based projects, especially trading projects. People are coming and they are putting the cash in the system. So I think there's a multiple way we can do that. One is like make the seamless cash payment gateway. That would require another that would require a kind of blockchain that can actually handle more than at least 100,000 transactions per second. Because 2,000 transactions has been already 1,800, 2,000 Visa is actually making it. And if you are making less than that, then we are still not competing with the existing ecosystem that is running
Absolutely.
actually traditional. So the Ethereum is doing good. So Ethereum, once they will launch the sharding, that will support up to 100,000 transactions per second. That is the great thing. So Matic come up with a solution that supports up to 7,000 transactions, but we saw a lot of the network issues as well. Solana come up with a solution, but always they got stopped. They got have always a problem, technical problem. People lose trust because I guess we have to first work on the more on the technology side to make it more stable in terms of utilization and the distribution side. We have to do a lot of more testings in terms of before launching the products. Once we lose the trust from the beginner user, we will never gain it again. And it's happening, keep happening every second year or 1 year. You will heard about 650 million loss, 550 million loss.
Exactly.
So that actually scare new people to give money. Why, if for example, as a father, why I will give money to my son if I have a non-tech background, and why I will give where I'm reading a news where 650 million has been gone from the market in the crypto. So we need to make a trust and ecosystem in order to make it more easy. So we need e-commerce, we need daily users thing. Like we want a system where anyone wanted to buy a water bottle, they can go and they can buy with the crypto. Everything needs to be a proper ecosystem manner, secured, and most and top important thing as a product of the efforts we also think of like give priority is the main thing is regulation. The regulation needs to be there. We have to do the market surveillance. We have to do anti-money laundering surveillance, and we have to put all the things into one places. That can be done through the regulation only.
I have a question for you because you're the CTO guy,
Yeah.
and you obviously know the backgrounds. Talking about number of transactions and talking about security, would you think that we see quantum blockchains anytime soon?
No, that's a buzzword. That will actually this will not come after 2 years, and people will say people will start making jokes about it. So the main thing in the crypto, people are using buzzword a lot, but the reality is very different. The reality is very different.
That's why I asked.
The current one is the current development. The releases are very different, and the people may create buzz and in very different manners. That actually impact our whole ecosystem.
Absolutely.
I'm
Dave,
just
yes,
going to
please.
jump in from a consumer perspective. So I'm the ideal beginner in this situation, and we started Lively. We said, like, if you can convince me about NFTs, if you can convince me to feel secure out of checkout using blockchain or using my cryptocurrency, then you can do it for anyone, right? Because I was really a skeptic. And from a consumer point of view, and we've done thousands of interviews, is we find that you're exactly right. Like the biggest issue is the technology understanding and education gap, and the bottom line, the average consumer doesn't care. They don't care what the technology is.
Yes,
Is it a fast transaction? Do I trust it? Is it easy? So when you said buzzword, like my goodness, like we're in the marketing world too. Like I don't even like the word Web3 because like no one was talking about Web2, right? Why are we all of a sudden all talking about Web3? No one ever cared about Web2. So we the tech, or like there's one side of the world that is not thinking about what the consumer actually needs, and we're more thinking about what technology can we use and what application does it have. But at the end of the day, again, because we're trying to solve this on a mass scale, right? It just has to be simple, it has to be trusted, and until it's better than the current system, it's never going to have mass adoption.
Absolutely. Yeah. Micah, would you like to add?
Well, when thinking about use cases, actually one of the first use cases that kind of blew my mind or enthused me so much that I wanted to deal with the blockchain technology on a daily basis was that you could send a penny around the globe within a second for a fraction of a cent, and that you can bank the unbanked. A problem, back then it was like a problem for over 1 billion people. Maybe now it's almost 2 billion people who have this problem with no access to the usual banking system. But looking at the blockchain market, let's say most of the blockchain technologies are not properly working and cannot provide sending a transaction for a penny, more like 50 cents or even much more expensive, at least in the current system, in the previous system of Ethereum. So I see a future of cryptocurrency when it's also made very simple. Actually, we have the vision to camouflage all the crypto, and we actually want to focus only on the blockchain technology itself, or let's say the people itself don't even need to know they are using blockchain technology. And not only focusing on the coin part, but on the bit part, on the data part. I always say data is the new oil, and blockchain technology is the technology to monetize that data. And thinking of use cases, okay, where can we monetize, or what kind of data should be monetized? And thinking about these things, for example, when I'm a content creator, when somebody consumes that data, I could get an immediate micropayment stream into my non-custodial wallet. It can be on any social media platform. It can be on other websites, for example, in the digital world. Maybe also a combination between the digital world and the real life world.
Absolutely.
I'm going to places and my devices are connected with some IoT geolocation sensors. Oh, and somebody wants to have this information. Yeah, then please let some pennies stream into my wallet. And it can happen now with the blockchain technology in combination with further technologies, where I always say that's the place where the magic happens.
Absolutely, absolutely. But still, like, yes, as somebody was mentioning, the trust, the operational, like how to do the transaction. So we still see that the operational and investment risks are in the open finance, in DeFi, in crypto markets. So there is the way how to work them out and to make this transition faster. Do you think we can do that, Christian?
Well, we have to.
Yeah.
We have to make it faster because of, as you just said, Dave, because of mass adoption. And we have to make it, also as you said before, we have to make it way more, well, unobvious what tech is behind it. I mean, absolutely. I mean, today, if I transact money, if I pay my invoices, nobody says like, now I'm going on my Swift system and I'm typing numbers in. No, I'm doing a transaction. This is how we talk, right? And this will be the same on the blockchain and with crypto payments. Can you send me some money? Can you pay your invoice, please? How do you want it? Via crypto or via fiat? No, crypto. Okay, push a button. That's there. And I'm like, what do you actually have to do? Like, do you have to download a wallet, or which wallet, or how is it?
Yeah.
So, talking about implications of difficulties, and talking about how can we make it so possible. We're totally revolutionizing an existing old, not sometimes very straight system. And it was funny because some weeks ago I was chairing a blockchain expo in Amsterdam, and we're having a panel about DeFi 2.0, and then somebody was asking, "Oh, this is nice, but what actually was DeFi 1.0?"
Where
So,
we miss
and then
it,
people
yes.
go like, yeah, I don't know, it's actually the same. So why would you call it 2.0? Why would you call it Web 3? Nobody said like, let's go on Web 2 and chat a bit. No, you were on the internet. So I think it's the time right now to overcomplicate things when developers are talking with each other. And developers are just not the best marketing guys, right? That's why they call it non-fungible tokens instead of like digital asset, right? So, and I think that's
We need some fancy names. We like it. Yes.
absolutely, absolutely.
This might be sorry. This might be a different conversation, but we are so DeFi versus digital finance. I'm struggling with that right now, tracing back a lot of cryptocurrencies to their roots and realizing, like for example, Ethereum is not as decentralized as you think. It actually relies on a cloud server, right? And then now with MasterCard coming into the game with crypto payments, right? So crypto, MasterCard being very centralized and bank, backed and institutionalized. Where the other question is like, where is this really going? Because is it ever going to be decentralized? I mean, Bitcoin can be argued that it's very decentralized, Monero, but still, And so I do like the idea of MasterCard coming into the game to facilitate payments. I do like all this, but I also think that, like, the experts in the field also have to maybe look at the word DeFi and start to it's digital currency at the end of the day. And I think decentralized is confusing a lot of people, to be honest. Like, again, our users, when we say decentralized, a lot of them are like, well, is that just blockchain? But can blockchain decentralize? Again, it's all this terminology is
Exactly.
become normal for us, but it is completely new to the average person. And so I think that, like you used a good word like camo, and like when it's stealthy, when you don't even know you're using it, that's where the magic happens.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would
Yes,
like to
sir.
add a few things. Absolutely, I agree with him. Like the DeFi and the buzzword like Web 2, Web 3, all this this is not buzzword now. It's very obvious for everyone to understand. So what is happening? We are going reverse mode. We are teaching people what is Web 2, and then we are comparing with Web 3. Every photo internet you will see like it will be similar like that. So that's the problem. Like we are going in a reverse mode. We are teaching them and all. The second one is like as she mentioned, like non-custodian wallet. So the normal average person, they don't know what is custodian and what is non-custodian wallet.
Exactly.
So that's the number of one. So the best thing is like we have to teach the people. Like we have to educate the people like how to use custodian and what is non-custodian. Custodian means like you keep the money with someone else, like you keep my money with the bank. So you keep my money with some other wallet like blockchain.com. That is the custodian one. And if you're using a trust wallet as a non-custodian where you're keeping all the funds with you, and all the private keys always with you, nobody is going to ask you a question. Don't have to do anything else in order to withdraw your fund. It's all you only. Another thing is coming to the point of Mastercard. So why the Mastercard and other cards companies needs to come into all this space? Because what we are doing is right now we have to build a system, but there is no way to enter the system without a cash, without a money. So where you will bring the money? Card, Visa, Master, others card. So they have to come. And how you withdraw the money? To the bank. So you have to go to the KYC, AML. You have to go with all the things. So like you will be connected always with all these things. So everything is connected with the one circle. It's all the people, finance, and money is. It's like if we can make, I agree with her, like she mentioned a very good point, like we have to make the system where people should not realize that they are using a blockchain or not. We can do we'll give you one example. For example, I'm running a bank. I can do the remittance thing and do the real-time settlement with the multiple banks in the back end. And the front, like in the normal people, they will not realize like how the fund is moving. But the fund is moving very quickly through the blockchain. For example, Ripple is have a very good case for the remittance. So the Ripple can be used for all these cases. People will never realize that. But in that case, still you have to rely with one party there where you are executing everything. You have to give the funds to them, and then they will do all the things. Like that is only possible with a custodian wallet, according to like the use case, like according to make it much easier. Whenever we are talking about a non-custodian, so there's a responsibility of the own user to keep the seed phrase or private key secure. And most of the people which I know, and I guess like everyone knows, like one of their friends has lost the private key. They call,
Yes,
bro,
yes.
you have any solution? I will give you half of the fund. No, I don't need your fund. There is no other way. Like I'm a developer, I cannot make it. This is how it is. So we need to make it very easy way. If we have to make it very easy way, but I guess we should start from the custodian side. Once we will launch something with the custodians and it will be using the blockchain, but it will be not completely DeFi. But it is the first step we have to take, and then the other step is the DeFi. People will start moving automatically slowly.
Absolutely. Like, thank you, Osama. You even touched like my next question, which is about the user experience issues. So it's another roadblock for those who want to start investing and like explore the DeFi ecosystem, because for many people still like how to create the wallets, like what are the exchanges, what are these protocols, and it's not the straightforward intuitive process that you just go and do it. You do a lot of mistakes because basically who is teaching you to do it? You just go to the internet, you try to explore, you have this buzz around what's happening, and that's the fat finger issues happening. Then like you don't understand what is the gas limit, what you put, like how we can educate and make more people aware of the logical process of the DeFi ecosystem.
So that has, I will answer the few.
Absolutely.
That has been started already with the MetaMask. So what they have done, they make the speed limit. What your transaction speed you want, high, mid, or low. So based on that, you can just click, and the gas limit and the gas price will set up. I will enlighten the gas limit and gas price. The gas limit is the maximum amount of gas you want to expend, the maximum amount of the transaction fees, and the gas price is per unit price. So the per unit price and the maximum price, you can just combine and you can calculate it.
I have a question. Why don't we just call it fees?
I was going to say, that is already so confusing that I'm out. I don't, that is so confusing.
Talking to a mainstream person, they would go like, I know banking fees, but what about gas?
Yes, exactly.
I 100% agree with both of you. As per the user experience, it's so complicated, the fresher developer even doesn't understand that. So
yes.
As the technical people also have a beginner also have an issue, and the like normal person as well. So what I'm saying is like this is already began with already MetaMask. They started the small thing like what would be the transaction speed you want. You just select and it will set automatically in the backend. You don't need to see even what is going on in the back. So that is the first step they have taken. We have to make it more. We have to improvise it more. Like you can just set default. Like I always want to send $10. I always want to make sure like it should be $10, $1, $2, or 1 cent. X amount is that, and you can move it forward. That is still possible. That is still in the backend is possible. Front end and user experience, we have to make it much more better in the future. As for example, if you go to the exchanges right now, all the exchanges everywhere is fees, withdrawal fees. Why they charge is because they have to submit a transaction in the blockchain and they're gonna have some charge for that. We are actually building some solution right now where we will allow you to in the profile preference where you can set up you want a withdrawal fees low, mid, or fast, and you can set up a subscription fees for X amount of transactions. So we'll make it batches and we'll send it every X amount of hours based on the subscription. So user doesn't need to, if user is keep withdrawing a lot of money in every day or every week, they don't need to end up with paying a lot of transaction fee. They can actually subscribe and they don't need to know what is going in the backend, but their work will be done very easy.
Absolutely, yes, Mike.
I mean, besides the process of how to invest, but in what to invest is also a huge question for many people. There are investors coming towards us, and they say, "Oh, someone sent me this new blockchain, the website to this new blockchain, and shall I invest in it?" And what we actually do is kind of like make an assessment or like analyze what they are stating, for example. There are so many blockchain providers. For example, we already heard the word Solana. When you go on the website, it says decentralized, highly scalable blockchain and so forth. And when you deal with the technology, you actually know that it's not like that.
Exactly.
That there are people behind it who have the power over the whole network, basically, and so forth. So we analyze these things and kind of say what kind of risk is behind this. Sure, you can invest into a new blockchain, a new ICO and stuff, and you probably make a lot of money with a pump, but is it really like a long-term thing, or just pump and dump investment with a very high gambling risk?
Absolutely.
I'm a person that I don't like to gamble. I really want to build something which is a long-term thing for everyone. And I would also like to see the whole ecosystem to have a certain standard. But unfortunately, there's a high, extreme high percentage of scamminess. And education is very much needed for everyone. Everyone is also still learning. And at this current state, education is very much needed, because otherwise someone can, how do you say, can tell you certain things that are absolutely untrue.
Absolutely, yeah.
And what I noticed at universities, even the doctors and professors, they're also at the basic level. So there are actually very few people in the world who have a very deep knowledge around blockchain technology. We are all learning.
Yes, so true.
When you called me an expert today, I was like, oh, no, just an observer, really, just learning, because we're all, and I'm watching I'm watching the trajectory of like people I've been watching for a couple of years, and you can once you've been doing something for long enough and you're really obsessed with it, you can become an expert in any field. But this is so new that even if you are really good in this, we're all still learning. No one knows where this is going to go. And I think the most interesting thing is, again, I repeat myself, but like the merge of centralized and decentralized and how that can coexist. Because again, we're coming from a background where a lot of creators, when they hear Web3, right, they think, okay, now finally, like I have the power. It's like, kind of,
exactly, yes.
You have, it's not as if Google is going to be irrelevant and YouTube's going to stop working and everything's going to be decentralized. It's never going to work like that, right? But it does open up opportunities for individuals to be able to track what they're doing a little bit more and have more visibility and more control over their online presence. Whatever that means, it means something slightly different on every platform. But bring into the cryptocurrency adoption topic again. I'm just really interested to see where this goes. And expert is just such an interesting word in this subject. Yeah.
Thank you. You want to say something?
Yes, I want to add one more thing. Like in terms of the adoptions, in terms of educations, the main thing, like I would just want to say that we are at the space where the World Wide Web came in the market. That time people will not have trust on the internet. Some people took the risk, some people didn't take the risk. And in terms of the gambling, I would like to answer, like when the forex was not regulated, people were playing the same thing with the penny stocks. And they were pumping and dumping and all. Once the regulation came in the system, everything got into very proper manner. So I think the regulation also have a very key point here in order to make everything in the proper streamline.
Absolutely, yes. And
also, please make it practical regulation, and not regulation for regulation's sake.
Yes, we need a simple instruction, yes, with the steps 1 to 10, how to deal with it, yes, and these familiar words, because there are so many new words are coming that, yes, we got confused so easily. So, but let's forget a little bit about crypto and let's talk about the mass adoption evolution of the blockchain ecosystem itself. That's like, Micah, you have the media background, event background. Dave, you have the wellness background. Osama, you are purely with IT background. So now more people, they understand that no matter what is the industry, whether it's real estate, wellness, like any of it, that we can integrate the blockchain system in our business. But on the other side, still for many people it's so confusing that they think that we need to have the programming experience in order to enter this space. So what is the way how to bridge the gap and to make people sure that they don't require the programming experience and background in order to enter this space?
I mean, we already mentioned several things. I would say the main factor is camouflage all the crypto and make it as easy as possible. You mentioned just one click, yeah, and that's it. Kind of like sending an email. I don't need to know how this protocol behind it, everything works. I just make the click, it sends, and it magically appears on the other side. So, and that's what makes me happy. It's easy, and I'm sure, okay, or most of the time, sure it arrives. And yeah, that's what I would also like to see. Camouflage all the crypto. I might not even need to know, how it works,
Yes.
what it really does, but I need to make sure, oh, is this document a real the document that is the person a real doctor? Is the certificate is it correct? If I'm providing a job and I want to have someone with a specific background, is the resume correct? How can I prove? Or I want to access some data and I want to have a very secure vault of documents. And make sure that someone is not frog boiling the contract that I have with him. There's the blockchain, and I simply can prove it without knowing how this blockchain works and what it actually really is. But I know I can be sure when I use this system, then this is the document. When I use it, oh, it's so easy. I just put in the name, the handle, and the amount, and then I click send. Oh, and I paid 0.0001 cent for this transaction, and now he has the penny that I sent in the US. Yeah, that's amazing. And I can simply connect it with a game, and it's simply just click the button. I accept the terms and conditions. Wow.
Magic, pure magic. Yes, Dave.
Well, I'm just going to take again from always taking it from now a consumer angle again is we, in Lively, we have our tech guys, who are looking into possibly replacing our AWS servers with blockchain cloud, you can call it, right? So we can store our billions, I don't know, gigabytes, megabytes, Google bytes, whatever they're called when they're so high. Like all of this storage would cost us fortunes in AWS, but there is a way to put it on the blockchain, and all of a sudden this becomes a lot more manageable and even more scalable, believe it or not. But our customers will never know that, right? So our tech guys will be excited about this new technology, and internally we're like, hey, wow, we're saving money, we're providing a better user experience, but we probably won't even tell our users, like, oh, by the way, it's on the blockchain, because they don't care, right? Unless there's a security element to that, right? And then that's where marketing comes in. It's like, do our users care about that? Is it a privacy concern? So there's so much to unpack when, the original question was like, from all these different fields, you would think you need an IT background, but you really realize you can appreciate blockchain for what it is from a lot of different perspectives. And it's about what you do with that information or how you package it outwardly. I think that is either going to speed up the adoption or slow it down. Really, it all comes down to that.
Just a question to that. When you speak about putting data on the blockchain, do you have a specific blockchain, or are you about to build the own blockchain? And how do you make sure that it's feasible to store that data within the next 50 years on the blockchain?
Yeah, exactly, and that's the major question. We're looking into a project called Flux, Flux? Yeah, anyways, Flux, look, it's great. It's a really cool project. I'm not affiliated with it, but we're really impressed with it, right? So, and they've proven over and over again that they can really, there's I think 200 DApps and projects using it right now. And it's basically blockchain cloud storage. But we don't know, like, if in 50 years from now, where that data, how, because it's all about individuals creating, like, who have the nodes, who are computing this. So I guess in that regard, that's also another unknown, and that's why, again, we're all learning in this. Like, it sounds on paper like a great solution, but is it? Only time will tell. Yeah.
Exactly.
Great.
Interesting to know. Actually, this question, how can we feasibly store data within the next 50 years, for example? And just to make a little announcement, there's something coming also within the next half year in this regard.
We are looking forward for that, yes. Anything to add?
Yes, that is like definitely is possible to keep data in 50 years, 70 years, whatever is possible. That all things will come once we have mentioned the decentralization. This will be the people adoptions. If the people, developers, and other nodes are ready to keep the data and in the system, it might be a packet-to-packet data or peer-to, like we can connect through the peer-to-peer technology and collect all the data to deliver to one person. So that means like a rider who collect order from the different restaurants and deliver to the people. So the similar like this in the technology world. So this is definitely is possible. A lot of people are working actually in this same way. And I guess like this is the number, this is the very cool technology like they're building. Other thing is it's required the cloud system, complete cloud alternative of AWS. That is also, I think it is required in terms of making the website alive for the lifetime. We don't need to pay. So we got a domain name system, but it still is eventually is connected with one of the two centralized systems that can be down anytime.
Yeah.
But the cloud system, I think we have to work in more detailed way, and we have like the best thing is that community and the people from the blockchain who like the blockchain, they are working on this part. And definitely, as you mentioned, the 6 months there the projects is coming. Probably there will be 10 projects will be coming in another 1 year for this. And
Yes.
I like if you saw like the development in the open source technology like GitHub and all, you will see that a lot of people, a lot of community, a lot of developers are still working on this thing.
Thank you so much. I wish we have more time to discuss this further. We have a lot of episodes upcoming. So just to summarize our today's discussion, that we all are waiting, maybe as like users, not with the IT background, but as a normal users, we wait for the moment when, like with the email, when we are sending the email, do we think what is in the backup, how it's happening, how the technology? No, we just send the email easily within the seconds. So we're all waiting for the moment that we are using the blockchain, but we don't think too much about the technology behind it. And we will continue to educate more people to create the community with the knowledge of blockchain ecosystem during our Friday Blockchain Coffee Talk show. See you next week.